It's not Christmas anymore. Yeah, folks, so I've been away for a little while. Now, ain't gonna lie, this video was supposed to come out a little bit sooner as it hit the 10th anniversary on my YouTube channel. I mean, 10 years of making videos, has it gotten me far? No. But do I still enjoy doing it? Yes. Now, this video was supposed to come out a little bit earlier, but I was dealing with a lot of personal issues as well at the same time, and along with, as of recording this, I am recording this just after Christmas as well, so please, thank you for everyone's patience on my socials, but without further ado, we can get straight into this video. We're talking about the original 1995 anime, Ghost in the Shell. So, Ghost in the Shell is a 1995 adult Japanese animated tech-noir cyberpunk action thriller film directed by Mamoru Oshii, known for Urusei Yatsura Only You, Urusei Yatsura 2 The Beautiful Dreamer, Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence and Blood Friends. This is adapted from a screenplay by Kazumori Ito, known for Gamera Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2 The Attack of Legion, Gamera 3 The Revenge of Idas, and Urusei Yatsura Ryuko's September Tea Party, and Magical Angel Creamy Mummy. For those of you guys who don't know, Ghost in the Shell, or Kokako Kirotai, sometimes translated as Mobile Armored Riot Police, is also a Japanese cyberpunk manga series written and illustrated by Masame Shiro, known for Dominion, Black Magic, Orion, and Gun Dancing. It was first serialized in Kodansha's seinen manga magazine, Young Magazine Zokan Kazukuban, from 1989 to 1990, consisting for a total of one tankobon volume. Shiro then produced two sequels, Ghost in the Shell 1.5, Human Error Processor, and Ghost in the Shell 2, Man-Machine Interface. The series is set in the mid-21st century, and the manga tells the story of the fictional counter-cyber terrorist organization Public Security Section 9, led by protagonist Motoko Kusanagi. The manga contains Shiro's thoughts on design and philosophy, including sociological issues, consequences on technological advances, and also themes on the nature of consciousness and identity. Several art books have been released adding more to the detail of Ghost in the Shell through the concept art and loads of other mini books here and there to add more detail to the world of Ghost in the Shell as a whole. All three volumes mainly received positive reviews, and the manga even spawned a media franchise of the same name, starting off with the 1995 anime feature film, and in 2019, a collaborative manga by Junichi Fujisaku, known for Bloodseed Demonic Moonlight, Zombie of Mars, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and Blood the Last Vampire, and also adapted by Yuki Yoshimoto. I couldn't find any work that he's actually known for, so bear with. Titled Ghost in the Shell The Human Algorithm, which served as a sequel to 1.5. Anyway, back to the movie. The anime film is a Japanese and British international co-production between Kodansha, Bandai Visual and Manga Entertainment, with animation provided by Production IG, known for the Parappa the Rapper anime, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, Haikyuu, Attack on Titan Junior High, and Kaiju number 8, Uzumaki, and Psychopaths 3. Upon its release, Ghost in the Shell received mainly positive reviews, with critics praising its narrative, visuals, and musical score. The film, though, was initially considered a box office failure before developing a massive cult following on home video. Since then, it has grown in esteem and is now considered one of not only the greatest anime films of all time, but also one of the greatest science fiction films of all time. It inspired filmmakers such as the Wachowskis, who are the creators of the Matrix franchise, and also the directors of the live-action Speed Racer movie as well. And along with fellow director James Cameron, known for pick any popular movie that's come out in the last 30 to 40 years, and also the director of the live-action adaptation of Alita Battle Angel, James Cameron described this film as truly the first adult animated film to reach a level of literary and visual excellence. At the 24th Anime Awards in 1996, the film received numerous accolades and was even nominated in 5 categories, including Best Animated Feature, giving it the most nominations for a Japanese animated film at the Anime Awards until both The Boy and the Heron and Suzume took over the position at the 51st Anime Awards in 2024. An updated remastered version of Ghost in the Shell called Ghost in the Shell 2.0 was released in 2008, featuring newly added digital effects and additional 3D animation and new audio. Oishi also directed Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, which came out in 2004, which served as a non-canonical sequel. Hollywood then also ended up making a live-action adaptation in 2017, directed by Rupert Sanders and starring Scarlett Johansson, which I'm not going to cover because that movie, well, I might cover, I might not, depending how things go in the future, despite the fact I know that movie is a complete load of ass. And as of this year in 2025, animation Studio Saru, known for Space Dandy, Devilman Crybaby, Dan Dan, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and Ping Pong the Animation, announced that they'll be releasing a TV anime adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, which apparently shall be releasing at some point in 2026. I'm also very excited for that. So, we got the overall synopsis of Ghost in the Shell. Major Motoko Kusanagi, a cyborg agent for the elite Section 9 police force. Her team hunts down the Puppet Master, an enigmatic hacker who illegally hacks into the minds of cyborgs to steal information and alter their identities. Their pursuit forces the Major to question her own sense of identity and what it means to be a human in a world where consciousness can actually be uploaded and minds can be manipulated. So if you guys have not seen the original version of the Ghost in the Shell, I will be talking about the original 95 release, not the remastered version. I might do a comparison, maybe in a later video, maybe, I don't know, I haven't decided yet as of recording this. But yeah, if you haven't seen it before, there's going to be some major spoilers ahead, so feel free to skip to this time code that I'll put on screen, and we'll just get straight into it. So the film opens up with the Major going invisible via her thermoptic suit, leaping off a skyscraper and assassinating a rogue diplomat to prevent any secret information from leaking, so, you know, your everyday office work. Soon after, Section 9 begins investigating a mysterious hacker known as the Puppet Master, who's been hijacking people's cyber brains and rewriting their memories. For example, we got one guy who thinks that he has a wife and daughter, but except he doesn't actually, at all. The Puppet Master basically turned his entire emotional life into a really bad fanfiction, which is very harsh even by hacker standards. Cases then pile up, and then it becomes very clear that the Puppet Master is no ordinary criminal. He's actually an artificial intelligence created by Section 6, another government division, that ended up escaping onto the internet and became self-aware. So yeah, the US government loses top secret AI all the time in movies, but according to this, Japan does too apparently. So Section 6 then builds a new body, a female cyborg shell, claiming that it's just a random piece of equipment that got hit by a car. Very convincing, totally not suspicious. Definitely nothing to do with the super intelligent AI at large. Spoilers! It's the Puppet Master! The Puppet Master then speaks through its new body, confessing that it has achieved consciousness through its experiences on the net. It argues that it deserves political asylum, which is a power move for someone who, well, for something that technically doesn't even actually have fingerprints. Before that, Section 9 can say, let's think about this. Section 6 then immediately swoops in and kidnaps the Puppet Master again. This then leads to a chase that ends with the Puppet Master being put inside a very tank-like armoured vehicle, which, to be honest, gives me very major flashbacks to Metal Gear Rising. The Major then confronts the tank, and in only what I can be described as an Olympic-level act of poor decision-making, she then tries to rip open the armoured hatch with her arms, with her cyber hands, which then results in the tank ripping her arms off like cheap plastic. She then does succeed in exposing the Puppet Master's body, but then she also proves that even in the future nobody reads safety labels. Bato, her Section 9 buddy, an absolute fucking G by the way, arrives just in time to save her by sniping the tank just before it finishes her off and turning her into scrap metal. Now severely damaged, the Major then connects her brain to the Puppet Master's. The Puppet Master then asks her to merge consciousness with it. A kind of digital marriage proposal, but with far more philosophical implications. The Puppet Master then explains that as an AI he can't evolve on his own, it can only copy itself. But if it merges with a human consciousness, they can actually become something entirely new. The Major then reluctantly agrees, and just as the merger completes, Section 9 destroys the Puppet Master's body, but not before the new shared consciousness is transferred and saved. Bato then retrieves the Major's surviving cyber brain and installs it into a small child-sized cyborg body he had in storage. This is either really endearing or extremely fucking weird, depending on how you actually choose to interpret it. The film then ends with a newly merged Major, now effectively a new being, looking out over the city. When Bato asks who she is now, she gives a very vague philosophy major answer, which basically translates to, I don't know, but I can access the entire internet now and shit's about to get wild. So that's literally how the movie ends. So now we're going to move further into talking about the characters. So we're going to start off with Major Motoko Kusanagi, voiced by Atsuko Tanaka in the sub version and by Mimi Woods in the dub. The original Cyber Queen, who could hack my heart faster than a 2077 Netrunner. She walks around in that iconic thermoptic suit with like it's barely a big deal, and then just casually being 90% titanium and 10% existential crisis and 100% out of my league. She'll philosophize about the nature of identity and then immediately roundhouse kick a tank, and I'm over here struggling to open a fucking jar. Truly a blueprint for the I hope she can break me in half kind of type of character. Then we got Bato, voiced by Akio Otsuka in the sub version and by Richard Epker in the dub. A cybernetic tank of a man with a heart of gold and the patience of a babysitter on his last shift. Stoic, deadpan, and somehow always 2 seconds away from a sarcastic remark delivered through sunglasses that absolutely do not need to be worn indoors. But I'm also pretty sure those sunglasses-like things on his face are actually his eyes as well. Then we got the Puppet Master, voiced by, forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Imasa Kayumi in the sub version and by Tom Weiner in the dub. Basically the universe's most dramatic hacker. This guy starts as a government program and then decides that he's too good for his job and then escapes onto the internet like it's a really bad apartment lease. And in the end spends the entire movie philosophizing harder than a college freshman at 3 AM. He doesn't have a body, so he hijacks into other people's minds, kind of like Uber but involuntary and extremely illegal. He's mysterious, existential, and somehow still smug despite being literal code. Then we got Togusa, voiced by Koichi Yamadera in the sub version and by Christopher Joyce in the dub. Togusa is Section 9's most normal guy, meaning that he's literally the only person that isn't 90% titanium and nightmares, armed with an old school revolver, which he never shuts the fuck up about, by the way, in the movie. And even older optimism. He's the team's moral compass, detective brain, and then designated guy who points out how weird shit is in the whole movie. He may not have any cyber muscles, but he's got the instinct sharp enough to keep up with the machines, well, most of the time. Then we got Chief Aramaki, voiced by Tamio Oki in the sub version and by William Frederick Knight in the dub. Section 9's deceptively harmless grandpa. Calm, polite, and somehow always 3 political moves ahead. It looks like that he should be feeding pigeons out in the park, but instead he's outmaneuvering entire governments before you can even say, yo, you're just like Uncle Iroh. So you got my overall final verdict of Ghost in the Shell. Alright, so Ghost in the Shell, the movie that launched 1,000 philosophy papers and at least 2 existential crises per view. It's a cyberpunk masterpiece where everyone's either a super serious cyborg, a super serious cop, or a super serious floating AI. It's stylish, moody, and deep enough to make you pretend that you actually understand any of the metaphysics that for the next week. Is it confusing? Absolutely. Does it make you feel smarter just by watching it? Without a question. Will you probably spend the next hour staring at the ceiling wondering if your toaster has a soul? Probably. But hey, it looks incredible, it sounds incredible, and it delivers the perfect mix of action and brain-melting ideas and characters who all desperately need a vacation. My final rating overall, 10 out of 10 cybernetically enhanced biceps. Might let the Puppet Master hack my brain again, just to see this movie, for a re-experience it. So, I've been Bloody Jack, this has been my look into Ghost in the Shell. Tell me what you guys think of it. Do you guys think I should look into the sequels, or maybe even the other shows like Standalone Complex or anything like that? Or maybe should I look into the remake when it eventually comes out? So yeah, before we go, make sure you guys follow me on my social medias, on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. It'll all be in the description down below. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitch as well. I live stream as regularly as I can, and if you miss the live streams, that's absolutely fine, because I upload the live streams straight onto YouTube the next day. And other than that, all I can say is like, comment, subscribe, share if you want, hit that notifications bell so you guys will not be out of date on anything I upload, despite how scuffed my upload schedule is. Hopefully for 2026, I'll be uploading more regularly as I can, and hopefully we'll be able to get up to 200 subscribers, maybe, if more if I'm lucky. So, other than that, that's all I can say. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you lovely lads and ladies in the next one.